Well, good Monday morning, everybody. Start to a new week. We had a wonderful weekend. We celebrated our 29th wedding anniversary on Saturday. Got to go to dinner and celebrate our day together. And then yesterday, I was able to share at my home church, my original church I was saved at, Woodstream Church. I was able to share about our ministry at the missions conference, able to share what God has done over our past 29 years in marriage and ministry. When we got married back in 1997, we asked the Lord if it was okay to become married, and He approved. But we asked Him, said, "We will serve you," and He separated us for service very soon after that. And we were commissioned by our church at Woodstream, and we began serving right in the local areas of where we lived in Maryland. And God's been doing some great things ever since. As you can see on our Facebook pages, all the different things He's been doing, from local ministry to in-house ministries to outreach ministries in the area of Prince George's County, Maryland, to then further outreach into various areas such as New Orleans, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, St. Vincent, South Carolina, different areas, helping out after disasters. And God has been so good to us and brought so many people into our lives to support us, encourage us, mentor us. And we've been blessed by the many young people we've been able to serve. And they continue to come back and share with us their lives, how they've grown, how they've matured, had their own families. So we're very grateful to God. And we're looking forward to the next 29 years, if God is pleased, to continue to serve Him. We don't plan on stopping now. God's been too good to quit on God. He never quits on us, and we are not going to quit on Him. So let's continue in our morning devotions today. Some very human side of Jesus, if you would, as He's getting ready to go to the cross. And in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 14, verse 34 and following, Jesus is saying, "My soul is very sorrowful, even to death. Remain here and watch." He asked the disciples to remain with Him in the garden and watch as He prays. And He said, and says, and going a little further, He fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from Him. And He said, "Abba, Dad, Father, all things are possible for you. Remove this cup from me, yet not what I will, but what you will." And He came and found them sleeping. And so we look at that and we see, like I said, a very human side, of Jesus, a very human side of His character, if you would. No one would want to go to a cross. No one would want to go to that kind of a beating. And obviously He had seen them before and heard of them. And He did not want to go through that. But yet He said, "Your will, Father, not mine." So as we go through our struggles in the daily life, we can look at that and say, you know what? It's okay to struggle with our shortcomings. It's okay to struggle with our pain at times, physical pain, emotional pain. But then again, we have to accept, well, God, what is it you want me to do? If you want me to go through this, then I know you go through it with me. I know you walk through that valley of the shadow of death with me. So I will fear no evil. I'm not going to fear what's coming because I know you walk with me. And I want what you want for me, because we know that sometimes those struggles, like gold being purified in the heat, God is purifying us. God is perfecting us. And I look back on our life, and I could see the struggles that we had. And at the time, it was not happy. And I didn't really accept it as Jesus was doing here. But I can see how it was better for us and how it made us what we are today. And we still got some purifying to do. God still has some work to do through us, some more fires to put us through, if you would. And my prayer is that I can be like Daniel's friends and go through that fire and dance, and walk with Jesus through that fire, and that people can see Him walking with me. That's probably the most important thing that I want. I want people to see Jesus in me, because it's not me doing these things. If I had my way, I would have done things much different. I wouldn't have given up a job. I wouldn't have given, sacrificed this and that. But God asked us to, and I'm glad I did, because He has done so much more through me than I could have done for myself. And and I look back on some of the struggles we had and say, man, God, thank you for that. Thank you for not giving me what I wanted. Thank you for giving me what you did, and how much I've grown because of that. So God, I want Him to continue to work through me. And that could be our prayer for each other, that God's will, not ours, be done. that we want what He wants for us. And despite what we might hear from everybody else, God's will is the best thing for us. So young people especially, listen to God. I plead with you to plead with God, to show you your future, to show you where to go, where to choose, who to choose, how to choose it. And yes, you'll get a lot of advice from a lot of good people. But what God wants for you is what counts. Jeremiah 29:11 should ring clear into your hearts and minds and heads even. God has a plan for you to succeed and not to fail. But you have to follow His plan. You can't compromise. Take it from me. You cannot compromise. I've compromised enough and paid a price for it, physically, spiritually, mentally. Our family has suffered sometimes because of my mistakes. But God is always faithful, merciful, but He's just. He will give us second, third, and fourth chances, but He also will correct us. And sometimes that correction hurts, like pruning a bush in the fall. That cut hurts sometimes, but yet then we can grow because of that. So hang on to God today. Walk with Him despite the challenges. He will bring you through. And when you come through, you'll be glad you did. God bless you today.